Hey guys, it's me, Cinema Cities, aka Sydney, and I can't believe this channel has reached 10,000 subscribers. So, for something special for this special occasion, I thought I'd answer some of your questions. And don't worry, if I didn't get to your question in the video, I'll answer the rest in the upcoming issue of the Screen Spectator, the Cinema Cities newsletter. You can find the link to that and all the books and movies I mention in this video in the description below. That description box is jam-packed and you're really going to want to check it out. So let's jump right in and get started because inquiring minds want to know. I got a number of questions that ask, where does your love of old movies come from? So here's my backstory. One day I was home from school sick with the flu and I randomly watched a pretty obscure 1953 film called Count the Hours with MacDonald Carey and Teresa Wright. And from that moment, I was hooked. After that, I devoured every single movie I could get my hands on. I would set my VCR when I was at school to record them. My dad would take me to the mall and buy me VHS tapes. And I checked out every film book I could from the library. So basically, The Flu, Teresa Wright, and MacDonald Carey birthed a film addict. Did you study something cinema related? In college, I took some film studies classes and I minored in creative writing with heavy emphasis in writing for the screen, but I have both my BA and my MA in history. How do you watch movies with the people in your life? Well, if it's anything from the 1970s forward, my husband will usually watch with me, but honestly, I prefer to watch movies alone.
Holy cow.
Do you have a favorite composer or soundtrack? How important do you think music is to film noir? Well, in general, I think music is vitally important in all film genres. It's a key element in setting the overall mood and tone, and definitely can inform character. So I like to play back the soundtrack of a movie because it lets me relive sort of the emotional impact that I felt. I really love Don't Look Now, The English Patient, Twin Peaks, Chinatown, The Best Years of Our Lives, the soundtrack to The Batman. It's really dark. I like it. I know that you talk a lot about noir films, but I am interested to know some of your favorite old Hollywood female-led comedies. Okay. Some of my favorite female-led comedies would be The Young and Heart with Janet Gaynor, Rosalind Russell stealing every scene she's in His Girl Friday, and The Women.
I shouldn't think you'd let that disturb you.
Betty Hutton and Diana Lynn in The Miracle of Morgan's Creek, My Man Godfrey.
I'll spoil something of yours someday and it won't be your act.
And basically anything with Jean Arthur. Easy Living, The Ex-Miss Bradford, Talk of the Town. Anything with her in it. Love her. And Claudette Colbert in Midnight. If you've never seen Midnight, Claudette Colbert, Don Amici, screenplay by Billy Wilder, chef's kiss. Fantastic. In the streaming era, how do you find old movies to watch? So I'm a bit embarrassed to say that I have a lot of streaming services. A lot. So sometimes I'll pick something from random from one of those, or I will go to YouTube and type in classic B movies or classic melodramas or film noir movies, and I'll just see what pops up in the search.
Where is Rosemary?
What's your favorite cinema city? You could probably already guess, but Los Angeles / Hollywood. I just love the grit and the sleaziness of LA juxtaposed against the glamour of Hollywood and then the overall corruption of the place. LA is definitely my favorite cinema city.
Forget it, Jake. It's Chinatown.
Do you have any books to recommend about movies? So, first off, I'm definitely going to recommend Sterling Hayden's autobiography, Wanderer. The Star Machine by Janine Basinger, about how Hollywood manufactured its stars. Livin' with Miss G by Maureen Jordan, about her friendship and her life with Ava Gardner. Bright Boulevards, Bold Dreams by Donald Bogle, about the experiences of African-American actors in Hollywood. The Big Goodbye, Chinatown, and the End of Hollywood by Sam Wasson. And the 4-volume, I think it's 4-volume, Orson Welles biography by Simon Cowell. To be fair, I've only read the first 2, but eventually I will get to the rest. Have you seen any non-American film noirs that you can recommend? Louis Malle's Elevator to the Gallows. This one is also notable because it has a soundtrack by Miles Davis. Luchino Visconti's Obsession from 1943, which is inspired by James M. Cain's The Postman Always Rings Twice, just relocated to rural Italy. 1948 Stray Dog from Japan. I'm from England. It Always Rains on Sunday, and Brighton Rock. What consensus masterpiece of cinema are you most meh on? Barry Lyndon. What movie moment gets you choked up no matter how many times you've seen it? When Celia is reunited with her sister in The Color Purple, I just actually watched that clip. And yeah, I was crying like a baby. Every single time it gets me. Which remake of great classic movies do you actually like, even if it's a guilty pleasure? John Carpenter's The Thing. I like the Invasion of the Body Snatchers with Donald Sutherland. The remake of 3:10 to Yuma with Russell Crowe and Christian Bale. That's a really good one. The version of Little Women that came out with Winona Ryder, I think it was in 1994. And the cartoon Anastasia. Do you have more than one favorite genre of film? Yes. As you all know, I do love film noir and I love crime movies, but I also really love melodramas. I'm a sucker for a highly emotional, intense story of love, deception, the trials and tribulations of young love, old love, new love, rekindled love. And I also love horror, with my favorite subgenre of horror being psychological horror. Okay, lightning round. Bette Davis or Joan Crawford? Betty. Olivia de Havilland or Joan Fontaine? Joan all the way, baby. Leslie Howard or David Niven? David Niven, plus his 2 books on Hollywood, The Moon is a Balloon and Bring on the Empty Horses, are 2 other books I would recommend. Errol Flynn or Tyrone Power? Tyrone Power. Once again, thank you guys so much for the comments, the likes, the subscribes, the emails, and all the coffees. I am very caffeinated and wide awake thanks to you.
Good coffee.
And I hope that I can keep creating content that you enjoy and that you can engage with. As always, there are 8 million stories in the cinema cities. This has not been one, but a new one will be coming soon.
Yes, darling, yes.